Hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the glues and the adhesives that I use in my junk journals or in any of my crafts in general. Let's just dig in. So the first one I grab here is the school glue. I don't necessarily use school glue in my junk journals because it makes my papers curl and it takes forever to dry. And also it's not very flexible. So after a while, after a couple of years, this glue is going to start to get brittle and crack. And your pages, when you bend them, the glue underneath your work is going to crack and all of your artwork is going to fall off eventually. I've been scrapbooking for about 30 years. And so I have some books that are that old. And I just see how the different glues have aged over the 30 years that I've been making books and gluing paper onto paper. So this would be perfect for other crafts, maybe like gluing wood pieces together or for children or, just for projects that, not to be taken too terribly serious. So that's my opinion on regular school glue. I know this is like dollar store, but even the Elmer's, anything that, it doesn't make a difference. It all does the same thing. Here we have Fabric Fusion. I tried using this because I had tried another glue similar to this. I can't remember what it was called, but the smell was horrendous and I just felt extremely uncomfortable breathing in all those chemicals. So I had tried this one. I really like this one. It doesn't have a scent that I've noticed, and it adheres quickly and it dries very nicely. The only complaints I have about this is when it dries, it's quite shiny. So it's kind of unforgiving, if you would. So that's my opinion on the Aleene's Fabric Fusion. Mod Podge. I love me some Mod Podge. I do a lot of decoupage with Mod Podge. And there are different kinds of Mod Podge that you can get. There's matte, glossy, sparkly, or glittery. And this is a big one. But I have had it for probably about 3 years. I also use this to seal some of my mixed media art projects. But I really like this product if I'm doing the decoupage sealing kind of projects. But I don't do those kind of projects very often. They also have it in spray form. Okay, and my ever-beloved glue stick. I have a couple of them here because you can never have too many, especially when friends come over to craft with you or your children have friends over and they love to craft. I go through so many glue sticks in a year. I love it. It adheres instantly. It dries clear. I'm very practiced in it now, so I don't get the strings. I don't burn myself anymore. Glue sticks are inexpensive. So are the glue guns themselves. And in most of my really old projects, my glue stick projects are still holding up well. Now, sometimes you can buy really cheap paper or construction paper or the paper that just feels kind of, like cheap construction paper, like in kindergarten, It's not the fine cardstock or the smooth printer paper. It has like that bizarre grit to it. This is probably going to change the color of that. So if you're using a glue stick and you're using kind of a funky, gritty, bizarre paper, just do a little test in the corner because it probably will change the color of your paper. Otherwise, this is a fantastic adhesive to use in your projects. Tape. Now, not only is tape wonderful for wrapping presents or, just adhering paper to paper, this tape lasts quite some time. In some of my old 30-year-old scrapbooks, when I put a tiny little roll of tape in each corner of the back of the photo or whatever the embellishment is, it is almost all, I can't say 100%, but 99.9% of all my photos and my embellishments are still adhered to the paper. There has not been any discoloration. And sometimes I've had to remove those papers for like memorial boards or things like that. And that tape is still adhered on there good. I have scrapbooks from the early 1950s that they use Scotch tape to adhere their photographs and things. Now, these are like the photos that aren't, you know, acid free, or they're done the old school way. And I have not, the tape yellows a little bit, but I just think that it adds to the character. It's still sticky somewhat, but good grief, these books are almost 100 years old. They're going to need a little bit of reinforcement, right? So I do use tape when I'm putting photographs into my own scrapbooks. Very rarely will I use Scotch tape in one of my junk journals or anything like that. I like Scotch tape because it's also removable. It's not permanent, but it also keeps a very, very good hold on your projects over the years. Another tape that I like to use in all of my junk journals is Tyvek tape. This one's a little banged up because I rescued it from my husband's garage after he's done all of his remodeling, rebuilding, siding, whatever it is that he uses this stuff for. He's done with that now. So I get to have his Tyvek tape. Yay, me! So I'll use this to reinforce the insides of the junk journals when I bind them. So this is a book that I've covered recently. And on the inside, underneath this strip of fabric, I still have to put like the back pages on. Underneath this piece of fabric is pieces of Tyvek tape, which is going to hold this sturdy for a long time. So you're not going to have the ripped, you can't back and forth this. It's not going to rip. It's sturdy and solid, and it will stand the test of time. This tape is meant to be used outdoors in the elements. It's amazing for your junk journals. Tyvek tape, found at Walmart or a hardware store near you. Packing tape. Not only do I use packing tape to package all of the junk journals that I send off everywhere, this is also good for binding your journals. I mean, the Tyvek tape is much better, but you know, in a pinch, you can use this. Don't forget when you're using these glossy tapes that you have to use a little chunk of sandpaper or something to rough it up, because you want your adhesive to adhere to it. You have to make it a little porous. Just give that glue something to grab onto. So in a pinch, or maybe this is all you have and you don't have any Tyvek tape, you go for it. Staples. I like staples, especially colored ones. I only usually use staples when I'm adhering ribbons to tags or things like that. Otherwise, I don't use too many staples, just for like that. But, you know, when they're super cute and colored, they really, you know, can pack a punch. And they're cheap and they're easy. Okay, so I got a couple more glue guns in here, but here we go. Let's go with the glue sticks. Oh, glue sticks. I have a love-hate relationship with them. Whether it's this kind or that fancy Scotch crate glue stick, or, you know, which are kind of expensive. I hate spending a couple dollars on a glue stick that's going to last me a week. I don't know. Plus, I have projects that have fallen completely apart using these. I mean, sometimes if you can really get a good glob of that glue stick on there, you know, where you have to smear it around, sometimes your projects will hold for a long time. I have had it happen where it's discolored my paper a little bit, but you know, it's glue sticks. I don't think they're archival or heirloom quality. But if you got to stick together cards or something like that, I would definitely use glue sticks. In a junk journal, no, I wouldn't. I haven't, only because I want my work to be strong and, you know, sustainable and sturdy and last for years and years and years. I just don't trust glue sticks in my junk journals. Other projects, Sure. If it's a card that's going to be chucked in a couple months or whatever, sure, get rid of it. Children's projects, sure, why not? I will use a glue stick, however, if I'm gluing papers together, just to keep them adhered. Some people put a paper clip on each side of the paper, you know, to hold it secure. I'll slather on a piece or just a little swipey swipe of glue stick, put my paper on there, and then sew around the edges accordingly, and it holds on to it, you know. And if that comes loose over time, I don't really care. I have it sewn together, you know, just for a little bit of insurance. So that's an idea for you anyway, right? Okay, glue pens. This one I've had for a long time. It's just like a, what's it called? The Paper Studio. I still have some left. I've had it forever. It doesn't really ring a bell, so it must not have rocked my boat, you know what I mean? It must not have dazzled me, so I'm not even really sure why I still have that. I probably saved it for the children or something. Really can't tell you much about this because, I guess we'll just get rid of it. This I have found just recently, and it has changed my life. Fabrifusion. Pam of the Paper Outpost loves Fabrifusion. But this does not have a smell that I can smell anyway. The tip does not clog as badly as I anticipated that it would. These tips clog quicker than these tips, bizarrely enough. But this one also has like the little dauber glue. I don't know. This is the first time I'm even opening it, so I don't know if I want to open that. Trust me, it has a dauber on the end. And then down here, it's the fine tipped, which it has been amazing to get into those little corners, you know, right on the edges to glue your stuff down. So far, it's been super strong. It has not been curling my paper. It's fabric glue, so I suppose it has to have some sort of flexibility, yet strengthen it, right? So this has been a very, very nice glue. I will definitely purchase this again. I can't remember how much it was, $6, $7. But I don't know. I bought it last week. I've been doing a lot of gluing. I think I have about a half left. Yeah, that might get a little expensive. I might only use this when I'm adhering into my books. I might use this sparingly. Aleene's Fabrifusion. Adhesive spray. I haven't used this in a long time. Sometimes you can use this to, I used to do the bulletin boards at our church and things like that, and you have a lot of letters and things, and you just want to hurry up and glue all your letters to the board, and you just slap them on, you're golden. I don't know, that's the only thing I've ever used this glue for, was just something that was going to last the weekend. So there's so many awesome glues out there. Wait, it says works on paper, wood, cardboard, and more. I don't know. I'm just going to have to take their word for it. I might have to play with this little spray glue. You know, if you're doing appliques for sewing, this would be amazing. If you're using, I have no idea. What would you use this glue for? Yeah, that's about it. Spray adhesive? Maybe like if you had a huge thing to glue, you could just spray. But if I'm making something that huge, I'm going to want something better than like wood hairspray. I don't know. Maybe that's why it's still brand new. I must have been given this. E6000. Oh boy, you could glue your third child to the ceiling with this stuff. It'll glue metal to metal. You could put a car together. You could fix your car with this. You could put your bumper back on with this stuff. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's worth a shot. It's cheaper. E600 or E6000, folks. Oh my gosh, I found another stapler. It's an oldie from Garfield, Minnesota. 1978. That's the year I was born. Whoop. Oh. Dollar store glue sticks. Get rid of them. Okay, so we also have these like foam strips. These are okay. They're pretty dang sticky. I do not use these very often. Oh, this double stick in the big roll. I'll use this for my large projects, like when people give me items to paint or, you know, refurbish or fix for them. I use this stuff a lot. Last, yes, I did. Sorry, I'm having a flashback. But yeah, I don't use these very often. Sometimes if I'm making cards, like this is not sticky at all, you know. If I always have to reinforce it with mark glue. But if I'm making cards and I have a little spot that I need lifted, which is not very often because I use a lot of layers in my projects as it is. And plus, these just add bulk to my junk journals. You know, every once in a while is okay, but you get a bunch of this. I mean, look at, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages with these little tabs on there, that's how much bulk you're adding to your junk journal. Nobody wants that. You don't want that. Foam glue. I was obviously given this too. I don't know. I wonder what this is for. Oh, more tiny little staples. Look at these tiny little staples. Aren't they just adorable? Can you see them? They're just tiny. Oh, it goes to this stapler. Oh my gosh. I should use these more often. These are so cute. Why have they been just hiding in the bottom of my bucket? Probably because it's 46 years old. And I probably wouldn't know where to find these teeny tiny little staples. Well, thank you so much for digging in my adhesive drawer with me. It's kind of fun to see what I have and what I'm going to get rid of. So I'm going to clean out the rest of this bucket here. I hope this video is very informative and you learned something at least and has encouraged you to try different glues or has swayed you from glues that you had thought about using but, you know, are giving it second thoughts now. If you have a glue suggestion or something that you think that I should try, a glue that you've tried that has stood the test of time, let me know in the comments, please. If you're interested in seeing more craftiness, please like and subscribe to my channel. And we'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.